U.S. banks are silently preparing for the biggest financial revolution of our lifetime, and I've uncovered evidence that proves it without a doubt. Major financial institutions are already positioning themselves for American cryptocurrencies while publicly focusing only on Bitcoin. The documents and insider information I've gathered reveal a completely different strategy behind closed doors than what these banks are telling the public. A high-level executive from one of the world's largest accounting firms just leaked information that changes everything we thought we knew about institutional crypto adoption. Meanwhile, XRP's price is surging today for reasons most analysts haven't connected yet, and what's coming tomorrow could send it even higher based on an announcement virtually no one is discussing. But before we dive deeper, this video will expose how traditional finance is secretly embracing crypto, why stablecoins are about to replace SWIFT, and the hidden signals from Ripple executives that point to an imminent transformation of the global financial system. The Banking Insider Confession EY's crypto tax leader just revealed what's really happening inside America's biggest financial institutions in a moment of candor that's sending shockwaves through the industry. He confirmed major banks, the same ones that publicly downplayed crypto for years, are actively developing cryptocurrency products that go far beyond Bitcoin. We are actively involved in discussions with a lot of the major banks. They are wanting to offer various types of products to their customer base. To start, a lot of it's going to be basic custodying, basic buys and sells. You're seeing ETFs, but I think you'll probably start seeing more diversified multi-coin operations. What's even more shocking is what came next. He disclosed whispers of a complete capital gains tax exemption specifically designed for made-in-America cryptocurrencies. This would give tokens like XRP, Solana, and Cardano an unprecedented advantage over foreign competitors, potentially driving billions in new investment from both retail and institutional investors. This revelation directly contradicts the public narrative we've been force-fed in recent months. While government officials parade around touting America embracing Bitcoin and focusing solely on a strategic Bitcoin reserve, behind the scenes, these same institutions are preparing for a much broader crypto revolution. The disconnect between public statements and private actions reveals something crucial. They know the future includes multiple cryptocurrencies, not just Bitcoin, and they're already positioning themselves to profit from this reality while keeping retail investors focused elsewhere. The stablecoin takeover is already underway. Even more compelling evidence comes from Plaid's global head of policy, who dropped another bombshell that traditional banks hoped would stay under wraps. Traditional financial institutions aren't fighting the crypto revolution. They're secretly preparing to replace their entire back-office infrastructure with stablecoins. Once that stablecoin framework is in place, traditional finance institutions are going to start seeing a pathway to use stable coins in back offices, balance sheets, and bank-to-bank transfers as a replacement or alternative to SWIFT. This confirms what many suspected but couldn't prove until now. Banks aren't fighting crypto, they're quietly adopting it while maintaining their public skepticism. Once stable coin legislation passes, the floodgates will open, and banks will have the green light to abandon traditional systems for faster, cheaper blockchain alternatives. MasterCard just made a move that positions them at the center of this transformation by announcing full end-to-end capabilities for stablecoin support. Their infrastructure will ensure these digital assets can be used as easily as money in bank accounts for everyday transactions. This isn't speculative technology or a future possibility. They've been working with companies like Ripple and Circle for years, building the infrastructure in anticipation of regulatory approval. This shift has enormous implications for the global financial system. Stablecoins move at lightning speed compared to traditional banking rails, settle instantly rather than taking days, operate 24/7 without banking holidays, and drastically reduce fees for cross-border transactions. Once banks fully embrace this technology, the competitive advantage will be so significant that holdouts will be forced to adapt or become obsolete. XRP's price surge. What's really behind it? XRP's sudden price movement isn't random or just part of the broader market trend. It's directly connected to tomorrow's major announcement from Flare Network that few have pieced together. The network's CEO cryptically asked, "What is bringing big, green, and travels fast?" leading many to believe XRP staking capabilities are about to be launched on their platform. This is significant for several reasons most analysts haven't fully comprehended. Staking would reduce the circulating supply of XRP as tokens get locked up in staking contracts, potentially for months or years. With fewer tokens available to trade, even stable demand would drive prices significantly higher. Basic supply and demand economics that smart money already understands and is positioning for. USDTO is now live on Flare networks, bridging the liquidity of the world's largest stablecoin to the ecosystem. This creates an environment where XRP holders can not only stake their assets, but also easily move between XRP and stablecoins within the same network, increasing utility and reducing friction. Before jumping into any staking opportunity, you need to understand 4 critical factors that could make or break your investment. 1. How much do you need to lock up to participate? 2. What percentage return are being offered to compensate for illiquidity? 3. How long is the mandatory lockup period? 4. Can you withdraw immediately when the period ends, or are there additional restrictions? Missing any of these details could leave you unable to capitalize on price movements during critical market periods, potentially missing the peak of the bull run everyone is anticipating in 2025. The crypto war signal. No one's talking about something unusual happened recently that flew under the radar but speaks volumes about what's coming. David Schwartz, Ripple's CTO and the architect of the XRP ledger, changed his profile picture to himself in military fatigues with dog tags and a black star above his head. This isn't random timing, meaningless cosplay, or a simple marketing stunt. It's a deliberate signal to those paying attention to the bigger picture. When the person who built the technology that could replace SWIFT suddenly portrays himself in battle gear, it indicates we're entering the final phase of a long-planned financial transformation. Joe Katz reinforced this messaging, describing a scrappy financial startup taking on a web of corruption and betrayal to bring instant payments to the masses, and having to choose between their vision and their survival. The military imagery combined with this narrative suggests something major insiders already know. We're approaching a financial inflection point. The old financial system is collapsing in slow motion, while new rails, XRP for cross-border payments, real-world asset tokenization, central bank digital currencies, and decentralized liquidity hubs are firing up in the background. Global debt levels, derivatives exposure, and settlement risks are coming to a head. And Schwartz just silently announced that deployment time has arrived. These visual signals aren't coincidental. They're calculated communications to those who understand what's really happening beneath the surface of the global financial system. ETF timeline. Bigger than most realize. Here's what's coming faster than most people expect. Multiple XRP ETFs are pending approval with timelines that could accelerate the adoption curve dramatically. Bitwise application, Grayscale filing, 21 shares proposal, Canary Capital submission, Wisdom Tree documentation, CoinShares framework, Franklin Templeton structure. While the exact approval timeline remains uncertain, what's clear is that major financial institutions are rushing to position themselves in this space, preparing product offerings for when regulatory clarity arrives in full. Don't be surprised when giants like BlackRock announce their entry into XRP ETFs. They're already preparing behind the scenes, analyzing the market opportunity, and building investment products. If approved this year, as many expect, these ETFs could bring billions in institutional capital to XRP markets, dramatically increasing liquidity and potentially driving prices to levels that would seem impossible to most retail investors today. The coming financial reset. What connects all these developments is a single thread. We're witnessing the early stages of a comprehensive reset of the global financial architecture. The Commerce Secretary's comments, comparing Bitcoin to gold, reveal their understanding that commodities exist outside traditional financial control structures. But they miss the broader implications of blockchain technology. While government officials focus on Bitcoin as a strategic reserve asset, the real revolution is happening with programmable digital assets that can transform payment rails, international settlement, and financial inclusion. Banks know this, payment processors know this, and top executives at Ripple know this. That's why they're signaling major moves with their unusual communications. The signs are everywhere for those willing to see them, from banks quietly preparing for altcoin products, to payment giants integrating stablecoin infrastructure, to crypto executives donning military imagery. This isn't coincidental. It's coordinated preparation for the inevitable transformation of our financial system. The question isn't whether this transformation is happening. It's whether you'll recognize the signals early enough to position yourself correctly when it does. While most people remain distracted by day-to-day price movements, the infrastructure for an entirely new financial system is being laid before our eyes.